guys, this is Lord Chael speaking on behalf of our show sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. They allow you to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so you can officially call yourself a lord or a lady. Established Titles is not just about your ego. You also get to do some good. In addition to your new fancy title, Established Title supports global charities like One Tree Planet and Trees for the Future to help with the afforestation effort. Your title pack gets you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land in a private estate in Scotland. Your certificate features a unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. And right now, Established Titles is holding 200 plots of land right next to mine. So come join me in the Bad Guy Inc. Kingdom. Getting this certificate even allows you to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. Put it on your credit card, put it on your plane tickets, or if you're so inclined, put it on your dating profile. Makes for a great last-minute gift, and there's even couples packs that come with adjoining plots of land. Established Titles is having a great limited-time sale. Go to establishedtitles.com/Chael to save 10% off today. Remember to use the promo code Chael, or just click on the link below. Who should be next for Aljo? Who do you want to be next for Aljo? I think that's really what I'm asking you, because there is a time when your opinion is paramount, but that time is right now. Once we start going in a direction, once everything starts to get settled in, and then ultimately we have about agreement, time for opinions is up. But your time is right now. Who do you want next for Aljo? I thought, guys, it was Suga Sean. I thought that was done. I thought that we all agreed and that was done. Suga Sean goes out, he beats the former world champion, he's the top draw. Sean's going to draw into it. I'm still not sure where we've reversed that, and it has a big pause for me for one reason. I'll get to that in just a moment. But is because the house booed? Is it because a number of people did not agree with that decision? Is that why we just take it from Sean? I can't remember a time that we've done that in the past. Boxing has made an entire industry out of this, of the wrong guy winning a decision. And by the way, that was dirty and corrupt, and they robbed another guy. They just had an opinion on this one. It was a close fight. Most people, including Sean, thought that Yan won. But it turned out he didn't. And I'm just asking you, is that why? Is that why we're acting as though he doesn't then get to reap the rewards? That doesn't seem right to me, because the rankings are going to show that he won. Sean's bank account is going to show that he won. Jan's next opponent, which won't be going forward, will be going in a different direction, is going to show that he won. Why is Suga Sean not the guy that's going to fight for the belt? What happened there? Sincere question. We get to the press conference. Dana White gets asked what's next for Aljo. He says, Henry Cejudo. Now, there's a little bit more to it. The way the question was phrased and Dana's response, there was a little bit more to it that made it clear that that wasn't a done deal. But he did say, well, we'll look at Henry Cejudo, we'll look at Suga Sean. That's not what he said. And before I move on to the Henry Cejudo bit, let me back up. I gave you a tease a moment ago, and I told you there's a reason that Sean must move on. If Sean does not move on, which goes up, which I believe should be a world title fight, but if he doesn't do that, it leaves open the one possibility. It's the one thing Sean cannot let happen, which is a rematch with Yan. If you beat a guy, no matter how close, and particularly, got away with one, you don't go put it and risk it again. And I don't know that I would have a better idea, at least for right now. Now, I'm only 48 hours removed, right? Forgive me. I'm sure an idea could come to me, but if you're telling me that Suga Sean is not going to advance into the finals, I would first like to know why. What is different? We knew he was going to have a hard fight. We knew it would be a close fight. If he won the fight he was supposed to, well, all of those things happened. That would be my first question. But then I would be stuck with, well, where does he go? And where does Yan go? Yan might be the world champion on any given night. You put all of those guys in together, you do a straight line bracket, you do that 3-4 times, guaranteed Yan wins that at least once. Can we all agree on that? So where do you put Yan? Generally in this sport, we put guys that lost against other guys that lost. what guy that lost do you think you could responsibly put in there with somebody as good as Yan? And do you think in a scenario Yan coming off of this loss does not qualify to fight, say, Chito Vera, just by example? Which would be another interesting question. Henry came swooping in on a 6. Sean seemed to be dismissed, and Chito was never mentioned. So should we take that comment with a grain of salt? Should we understand fights don't get made at post-fight press conferences? We have a history of that in the sport. Should we throw everything out? Should we acknowledge that the acoustics appeared to be bad? It looked as though question and principal, in this case Dana, but whoever was getting asked questions, it looked as though they were having a hard time hearing that night. Should we make too much of it? Because Henry Cejudo already has. Henry Cejudo's already made a video, and he's already come out, and he already said, Aljo Sterling, you're taking care of my belt. I'm coming to get it back. I mean, Henry swooped on this, as you should. Sean will have something to say, but he's traveling. Sean's somewhere up in the sky, flying back 20-some hours from Fight Island. He doesn't have access to you guys yet. He just hasn't struck. Chito Vera should have been the loudest voice in the room. I should not have seen a video from Henry Cejudo and not have seen 5 videos from Chito Vera. That should not have happened, but it did. And Sean does need to be very cognizant. Petr Yan starts calling for a rematch now. Boom, they're going to get some momentum behind that. And it's very hard in this sport to stop things. And if you're in Sean's position, you have a really good argument for why you don't want to rematch him. Now, the truth is, hey, that was a close one. I got by him. I'm a younger guy, and I'm looking to move on. That's the truth, and there would be nothing wrong with that. But then you can play a little bit harder ball, which is, why am I going to fight him? Well, if you beat him, you fight for a belt. That's what you said last time. You told me last time, if I beat him, I fight for a belt. I just beat him. Why am I going to do it again? I'm just sharing. I'm arming you for this. He needs to get ready now. The fact that it was only said Henry Cejudo, no talk of Chito Vera, and Chito has not spoke up, at least not that I've seen. Sean's going to need to speak up. He's on a jumbo jet. He's got no access to the internet. I mean, I'm just sharing with you that things are going to look very different a week from now. But is that the fight that you want to see? Because Aljo Sterling has his say in that as well. And Aljo Sterling hasn't responded to Chito Vera, and he didn't talk about Sean. Aljo talked about Henry. That's hard to stop. When you have a contender and you have a champion and you have a promoter, it sounds like you got to fight. And right now, other guys need to come in and disrupt this. If this lives, guys, even another 4 days, if the narrative of Henry versus Aljo with the co-signing from Dana, if that can get another 4 days and somebody doesn't disrupt this, that's the fight you're going to have. Maybe that's the fight that you want to see. But I don't want you to miss the psychology, and I don't want you to miss the moving parts here. I don't think it'd be clear who the top contender is. I'll share my opinion. I don't think you could even have a reasonable discussion and tell me Chito Vera shouldn't be next. I don't think you could have a reasonable, accurate conversation and tell me that as of Friday of last week, we were told if O'Malley won, he would be fighting for the belt. I think that you would be factually incorrect on that. And to act as though Henry Cejudo returning for a belt that he never lost doesn't also carry a whole lot of weight. Look, I think you're in an interesting position. But if you want to see this play out, you want this game to happen, you want it to happen in the politics of the interweb, and you want the mandate of the masses to win out, you'd better start speaking up.